Hey, just a quick heads up. I recorded this video after I'd gone out to the bar and had a few drinks. I was a little bit sauced in it. A lot was cut from this video, but when I got back home, I just had to rant about the state of Xbox again. And I wouldn't take this video too seriously, right? Just remember, I came home, I had to rant. But rather than just not posting the video, I thought I'd give you that disclaimer. So watch at your own peril and enjoy the eternal humiliation of Xbox. Dear Microsoft, it's time to stop. Cease and desist. Stop right there, greedy scum. Ladies and gentlemen, the never-ending decline and eternal humiliation of Xbox continues. I'm genuinely at a loss of words at this point. Look at what I have been reduced to, okay? I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. I bought this for a video about console fanboys to make fun of both PlayStation and Xbox fanboys, and yet here I am wearing it. I got my OG PlayStation box here. I just want to set the record straight. I have always been a huge fan of Xbox, seeing as I am someone who grew up in the town where it was created. And although I've always had great respect for PlayStation and its exclusives, it just hasn't jived with me the same way Xbox has. I respect PlayStation, I just don't play it. This right here is the complete library of PlayStation 1 games I have played. And there's some bangers in here, but it's Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Worms Armageddon, and of course Lego Rock Raiders. These are all of the games I have played on PS1. I genuinely thought things could not get any worse than they have already. I felt like the inevitable end of Xbox. Like, I envisioned that video as, okay, yeah, that's it. It can't get any worse than that. I pointed out like 30 different reasons why Xbox sucks now and how they're increasing the prices for basically everything. And as one helpful comment pointed out, apparently rock bottom has a basement and Xbox is still digging. They're still digging. Why are you going so deep? And somehow Phil Spencer has unearthed a new layer of shame. But what am I even talking about? Well, here it is. Xbox did so badly on Black Friday sales, its stock keeping units were beaten by a console you've never heard of. Like I said, we already reached rock bottom. We can't dig any further, can we? Right? If I were to reiterate every single awful decision that Xbox has made over the last year and a half, yeah, if I were to tally up the runtime of these 4 videos, I can tell you why Xbox sucks over the course of about 2 hours. So for any non-Americans, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest shopping day in the calendar year for America. And Microsoft, $4 trillion company, owners of Xbox, they were just beaten in sales by this. This beat Xbox. Chances are, you don't even know what this thing is called. This is a standalone Kinect, essentially, but not even made for Xbox fans, made for families. Now, I just want to reiterate, as someone who grew up in the town where Xbox was created, Phil Spencer has brought nothing less than eternal shame upon my hometown and by extension me. I feel stupid for being a fan of Xbox. I remember playing this console. I remember playing Fusion Frenzy the day the Xbox came out at a neighbor's house because they worked at Microsoft, and there was 30 of us packed into the living room. And everybody was just having the time of their life. It felt like after the N64, like that was a real jump in technology that even as a kid, I couldn't fully understand, but I felt it. I felt that this was something special, the release of the Xbox. And I remember the first time I played Halo Combat Evolved and I used the Duke controller, my hands were so small, I could not aim on the right stick and hit the right trigger at the same time. And I still had a blast with the games. And I have tried to stick by this brand through thick and thin, even during the Xbox One days when basically all of my friends, my entire friend group, again, all of us born and raised where Xbox was created. We were all Xbox 360 fanboys, and then everybody swapped to PS4 except me, because I held out hope for the MCC. And I gotta tell you, folks, this is a eternal humiliation ritual for Xbox. I take no pleasure in making these kinds of videos. In truth, I hope I don't have material to keep making these videos. But the rapid decline and more than likely death of Xbox will have ramifications across the entire video game industry that we can't foresee at this point. But suffice to say, things are only going to get worse. If you've ever played the board game Monopoly, it's a game that's more fun the more players you have, because you have less of a chance of getting just completely scammed, right? The whole purpose of Monopoly is that if one player controls the board, the game sucks and everybody stops playing or loses immediately. And with one less player on the board, the gaming industry inevitably gets worse. Microsoft has just flat out stopped trying. That's the most generous appraisal of how they've been handling Xbox, is that they have given up. That's the most generous interpretation. More realistically, they are intentionally nosediving this billion-dollar franchise into the fucking dirt to extract as much value as possible that they can from it. That's the Phil Spencer business model. I guess I should talk about this standalone ripoff Connect that has beaten a $4 trillion company. The Nex Playground. Xbox hardware was outsold by a little-known Kinect-style console during Black Friday week in the US, coming fourth. They came fourth. That's according to Circana data shared on social media, which suggests the family console Nex Playground took 14% of the market for the week ending November 29th. I just want everyone watching this video to comment down below and be honest. Did you hear about the Nex Playground before this news dropped or before you watched this video? I just want to reiterate that Costco has effectively stopped selling Xbox consoles and products because Costco only sells things that sell. Costco is physically the biggest retailer in close proximity to Microsoft and Xbox. And even Costco isn't fucking with Xbox anymore. I know this video is just gonna be a sort of incomprehensible rant, but this is the only way I can cope with how fucking bad this brand has been handled and how utterly disappointed and disillusioned with it I am. I take no pleasure in making these videos. Not only has Microsoft twice raised the price of their own console, they didn't even put it on sale for Black Friday. For Black Friday. That's consumer's paradise right there. They didn't even put it on sale. They're not even trying to sell consoles. They are intentionally torpedoing this franchise into the... what's the lowest layer of Earth? They've successfully penetrated the upper mantle, and they are headed straight towards the inner core. If you want to feel even more embarrassed for being an Xbox fan, let's suffer together. Nex Playground is an Android-powered console launched in 2023. It was launched in 2023, and not a single fucking one of us have heard about it until now, which features a motion camera similar to Microsoft's Axed sensor, the Kinect. The console features family games such as Fruit Ninja, a game I have played on my phone for free for over a decade. They are competing with Fruit Ninja and losing. And it retails for $250, but is regularly discounted to under $200. What do you... Wait. You mean if the price is affordable, people will buy it? No. Raise the prices. Just keep raising the prices. The Playground has been quietly growing in popularity in the US market, and even briefly outsold PS5 in the week before Black Friday. Now that is impressive to a certain extent. Is it impressive or disheartening, demoralizing? The fact that Microsoft, as a $4 trillion company, does not seem able to compete with a knockoff of something they already built. And I'll just say this, the Kinect was a cool tech concept. It was cool. The fact that it was mandatory for every Xbox One is what killed the Kinect. That's what killed it. It wasn't the concept. Motion controls are cool. VR has popped off, so there's still a market for it. People have fond memories of the Wii. I have fond memories of the Wii. PlayStation Move. Microsoft exited this business without even trying, and now they're being upended by some fucking Ouya 2.0. Although that may be true, it's worth noting that Xbox was not competitive with its pricing over Black Friday, and it seems like there isn't a huge amount of stock in circulation. So it's as much to do with Xbox's ambition with its consoles as it is with consumer demand. Even as cope, this isn't a good sign. Xbox isn't trying to be competitive on Black Friday. I remind you, the biggest day of sales in the United States of America, the world's largest economy, and one of the most profitable, valuable businesses in the world is not even trying to be competitive on this day. They have given up. It's worse than they've just given up. They're destroying the Xbox brand. Look at what you've reduced me to. A day one Xbox fan who grew up in the hometown where it was created. I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt, a console I barely even fucking play. And I have more pride in this than I do in the Xbox brand. What the fuck are you doing? Words do escape me at this point. You might be thinking, well, why do you care so much? First off, this is a gaming YouTuber channel, so it's kind of my job. But also, secondly, Xbox was a point of pride not just in the fact that, like, I enjoyed every moment I spent playing a game on my OG Xbox and 360, but the fact that it was local, that it was built in my hometown, it was a point of pride. And now you know what's happened? Every single one of my friends that I went to elementary, middle school, and high school with, we can no longer afford to live in our hometown because Microsoft sucks the soul out of everything they touch. They are a poison and a plague to the land. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, that is an absolute truth. This company fucking sucks. And I simply cannot articulate properly and put it into words how much I despise them and their treatment of the Xbox brand. I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. What more do you want me to say? And I'm making this video because people at least need to be aware of how bad things have gotten. If you don't acknowledge the reality of how things are, what hope do we have of altering the trajectory of our timeline? What's most telling about the state of Xbox is that despite making that console fanboys video, that was at a time when there was a reason to be an Xbox fanboy. And although that video was very critical of Xbox and PlayStation fanboys, what I failed to do was acknowledge the importance of console fanboys. And this is what we're all gonna do right now, okay? Console fanboys are important because they are a driving factor of competition in the video game industry. You look at Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. When Infinity Ward made that, they were competing with Halo 3. They wanted to take down Halo. And so Infinity Ward made the best Call of Duty they could. While it didn't immediately take down Halo, they set the foundation to be able to do that. Competition is important. It forces everybody to try and do better and one up their competition. When Battlefield 1 came out and fucking blew Infinite Warfare out of the water, you know what Call of Duty did? They went back to World War II. They tried to compete. With Xbox pulling out, just giving up on competition, it leaves Sony, Nintendo, and Valve, essentially. But the fact that they're giving up and not even bothering to try and sell consoles, try and sell exclusives, it's a very dark sign. Think about this. Halo's coming to PlayStation 5 with a whimper. With a whimper. PlayStation fans are not going to give a shit about a remake of a 24-year-old game they have avoided playing up until this point. No PlayStation fanboy is truly going to give a shit. And it's not even launching with multiplayer. Halo, a series known for being as strong as the community that supports it. Forge, custom games, Infection, theater mode. None of these things are coming to PlayStation. Just a reboot of a campaign that PlayStation fans, if they haven't played, don't give a shit about. Back-to-back reboots for the Halo franchise. AI slop in the latest Call of Duty. Has there ever been a franchise? I was thinking about this earlier. Is there any franchise or IP you can think of that has done back-to-back reboots? Is that a first in the entertainment industry? Is that how bleak things are? The entire Halo Infinite campaign was based on the second mission of Halo Combat Evolved, and now they're even more out of ideas, such as they're just remaking the entire CE campaign without half of the game, no multiplayer. Anyways, Xbox is not only in a downward spiral right now, it's taking part in an endless humiliation ritual. And it is my duty as a former hardcore Xbox fanboy to do my best, do whatever I can to make sure these massive pieces of shit, Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond, are at least somewhat held responsible. Because I care more than they do. And that's what bothers me. I care about Xbox and everything it stands for more than they do. They didn't grow up with it. They grew up to ruin it. This right here pretty much sums up the game plan for Microsoft Game Studios.
PlayStation's killing us. We need more games.
Raise the prices.
What? But there's no reason to buy an Xbox right now.
Close a game studio.
Dog, we need more games. Costco won't even sell us anymore.
Raise the prices again.
Are you smoking crack? What the fuck are you talking?
Are you smoking crack? And look, I know I've been rather passionate in this video, but I have to reiterate, this is something that quite literally hits home for me. I can't tell you, as embarrassing as you might think it is to be an Xbox fanboy, who grew up in a place where this console, this brand was created, picture that embarrassment tenfold. I'm ashamed I ever met Phil Spencer, man. That dude sold his fucking soul to the devil. It is beyond embarrassing, and it's only going to get worse. So that's the only thing we really can do, is just continue to laugh at their ineptitude and their horrible decisions, and then wonder about how this will inevitably negatively affect the greater video game industry, as Microsoft has effectively pulled out of the video game industry, and they don't seem to want to compete in it further. Everything's an Xbox now, and therefore nothing is. The brand, as far as I'm concerned, has successfully been destroyed, and maybe that was the goal all along. If so, congrats to Phil Spencer for your successful murder of the Xbox brand, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty. We live in an economy where people who kill brands fail upwards. I don't even have the passion and the energy to like put effort into this video. I had to rant. I apologize if this was a bit of a downer, but rest assured, I need to balance it out with something more positive. So stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. All we can do is laugh. All we can do is laugh the pain away. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. I want to take this shirt off, but I feel like I must wear it out of principle now. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace.